Hey everyone, it's Alan over at Cobblers Plus, and thank you for joining us for our daily video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about another Saphir product, much like last week's video. If you haven't checked that out, go check it out. We were talking about the Saphir Renovator. But in this week, I thought it's time to pull out something a little bit different. It's the Universelle Cream. Some of you know it, some of you don't. Some have asked in certain groups and forums, asking if this is good to use on your shoes or this, and other options too. And we'll get through the options and different conditioners out there after a period of time. It's going to take a little bit of time, obviously, as you can tell. But anyways, for the Universelle Cream, definitely a great product. Marcus back there, he loves this stuff. He uses it on boots and shoes a lot too. I personally like to use it mainly on belts, jackets, and chaps because it's non-greasy. The formulation is very similar to Renovator. It has a lot of key features that are almost identical to it, but the way that they process it and refine it basically is a little bit different, and there are a few key differences with it also. But with the Universelle Cream, as you can tell, there are two different ones, just like the Renovator. There's the Beauty Cure version, also known as BDC, and there's the Medaille version, MDO. And as you can tell, between the two of them at first glance, there is a size difference. The BDC one here comes in at 150 mils, and the smaller one at 125 is the Medaille version. Gotta say it right, apparently. But anyways, between the two, we'll go ahead and start out with the BDC. Move this one out of the way for now. BDC, I gotta double check my notes here, but it's mostly, from what I can tell, and they don't have this written down, I believe it's water-based. It may have a little bit of milk in there. Now, milk is used in some of the high-quality creams and polishes out there, which is a great additive as a base, but because it's a little more expensive, some companies don't do it, but Saphir does, and I'm assuming this one does have a little bit of milk in it. Its key ingredients are jojoba oil. I used to say jojoba oil, but it's jojoba oil. It's got lanolin and beeswax in there. Again, very similar to what the Renovator has from the BDC line, but with the added jojoba oil, meaning that it's going to be a little bit more of a nice conditioner for things like bags, for example. It's going to soak into that particular type of dye and finish job on such products. You're going to get the conditioning aspect from the jojoba oil, and then the lanolin, and then the beeswax is going to give a little bit of protection and as well as some shine. And obviously not as much of a shine as a wax would, but just enough, and again, some protection, not a crazy amount, but better than nothing, obviously. And with that water, maybe a little bit of milk in their base, that means that you're going to have a light cleaning option available with that, which is definitely a great thing to have. Now, moving on to the Medaille version, MDO, this one is very similar, a little bit different though. It's got your mink oil, it's got your lanolin, it's got your beeswax. Main base on this one is milk. They do list that, so that means there must be a higher content of milk, which again is great. And it's got the, beeswax, lanolin, and mink oil. So that's the key difference between these two. This one has the jojoba oil, this one has mink oil added in it. Now, obviously, some of you may be aware of it, but mink oil has a tendency to darken some leathers, but because of the way it is refined and mixed, I'm assuming that the mink oil is a very small amount, just enough to add a layer of conditioning. I haven't had any issues with it as far as darkening leather ever, neither with this one, and I tend to use this one mostly right here, where this one seems like it has a little bit more mink oil in it as well as the other Renovators, so it may have a tendency to darken certain colors. Where this one, I haven't had any problems whatsoever, even on really fine leathers such as goat skin or lamb skin, for example. Those are very soft, very delicate, in other words, so certain creams and polishes can definitely darken it. Now, being able to use these, it's quite simple. Just take a cloth, grab your horsehair brush. Sometimes you don't need it, sometimes you do, but it's great to have a horsehair brush to kind of buff it off, whatever you're using to kind of even out the coat, remove some of the excess as well. Or if you just take the dry side of a cotton rag, works fairly well too. In today's video, we're featuring a coach purse, and this one was conditioned using this one right here, the MDO. Obviously with something with a nice leather, we're definitely going to want to do the proper products. And as always, you can always use these on your shoes and boots if you like. I personally prefer to use the Renovator just because it has a little bit more concentration of beeswax in here, and has a little more mink oil, because mink oil is a stronger conditioning agent than jojoba oil or lanolin even. But you can use this one on your footwear as well, so perfectly fine with that. Nothing wrong about it whatsoever. Quick side note for anyone that doesn't know what lanolin is. A lot of these products so far from Saphir that we've been talking about do have lanolin in it. Lanolin is a conditioning agent that comes off of sheep's wool. It's kind of excreted onto the wool from their body. So when a sheep is sheared, meaning that doesn't mean that they cause any harm to the animal, they just shear it. The animal needs to be sheared anyways, otherwise it's miserable. But they take off the wool and basically just kind of squeeze it out. I don't know the exact process for sure, but just thought I'd note that. So that's why lanolin is an awesome product to have in a number of conditioners and other polishes and creams out there, because it's a natural occurring conditioning agent for sheep's wool. So I thought I'd kind of mention that. We'll get into videos like that later, talking about the difference between mink oil, lanolin, and so on, and what the key features about each ingredient is. But it'll take a little while, so just stay tuned for those and just keep a watchful eye out. And on that note, we'll say give me a thumbs up if you like the video, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell icon if you're interested in seeing videos like that in the near future. We're going to be trying to post every day, Monday through Friday, a video talking about products, accessories, just shop updates, what's going on in our industry. And then obviously for Saturday, we're going to do our full recraft videos, and Sundays, we're getting back into our Soul Talk Sunday. So I do apologize for those of you that have been waiting. I know it's taken me a while, but I'm getting back on track with them. So thank you again for watching, and we'll see you next time.